everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Outwise Insights. I'm your host, Tora, and today we have a discussion lined up for you on fiber in MENA, what lies ahead. Joining us is Kholoud AlDorgham, Director General of Fiber Connect Council MENA. Kholoud graduated with a degree in finance and worked in investment and securities in Jordan and Saudi. Since 2020, she has led the Fiber MENA Council, focusing on aligning it with the region's fiber infrastructure growth. Kholoud has spearheaded initiatives such as releasing the 5G and FTTH MENA panorama and organizing webinars with industry leaders. She's also a judge at Telecom's World Award, Middle East Series, and a member of FCGA Coordinating Global Initiatives. Welcome, Kholoud. It's such a pleasure to have you on our podcast. How are you?
Thank you so much, Cora, for this nice introduction. The pleasure is mine. I'm good. Thank you so much. Hope all is well at your end as well. It is my pleasure to be here with Outwise Podcast, a dedicated member to our council and a great people to work with great experience and getting talents to our region.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you've been friends with Outwise for so long. I feel like it's high time to have you here.
Exactly.
So as I mentioned earlier, today we're going to talk about fiber in the MENA region. So Kholoud, you're the expert. Do you want to give a little introduction to what fiber technology is and its significance in the MENA region?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Tora. Basically, fiber optics is a flexible glass or plastic fiber that can transmit light from one end to the other. Such fibers find wide usage in fiber optic communications, where they permit transmission over longer distances and at higher bandwidths than electrical cables. Middle East countries are investing in the expansion of their telecommunications and infrastructure. Fiber optic cables are the backbone of this growth, providing high-speed connectivity for voice and data. One important factor is the young population in the Middle East. You know that the Middle East has so many youth. So more than 60% of the people across the region are under the age of 30, as well as the view that the fiber or the FTTX can help create economic prosperity and improve the living conditions for many people, which is something that everybody here in the region are looking for. I think high and stable internet connectivity is a necessity, and many telecom companies are trying to ensure the supply to this demand through FTTX network or the fiber networks. Another important aspect is the fact that economic growth at corporate and entrepreneurship levels is helping drive more need for such services.
No, exactly. No, fiber is super important. In today's society, we need internet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what would you say are the main advantages of fiber technology over the other types of internet connections?
Listen, Tora, well, investing in fiber is very essential metric for government institutions and network operators and other stakeholders, such as media companies and other interested parties to track. As a broadband access technology, optical fiber provides an optimized, highly sustainable, and future-proof quality service. And I believe everybody now is looking for the sustainable solutions in everything. So how about sustainability in technology? And the fiber proved that it is the most sustainable technology in the broadband technologies. This superior level of quality is essential for the development of future digital services and applications across all verticals, including entertainment, education, home learning, corporate services, smart cities, and health. Only by maximizing investment in next generation access can countries optimize their growth potential, and fiber optic technology is key to that investment, whether this is in the backhaul or access network.
And how does fiber technology contribute to the development of digital infrastructure in the MENA region?
Okay, MENA region celebrated a great progress in the past years, with UAE retaining a global leadership in the FTTH ranking, which is the fiber to the home ranking. Qatar as well among the top 10 worldwide, and Saudi Arabia has well progressed, exceeding the 60% mark, or we can say the 3.5 million households. In general, we are seeing faster adaptation across the region in different parts on the western and eastern sides. There are so many trends in the region, and among key trends is the infrastructure sharing policies being adapted and FTTH penetration reaching beyond urban location as more people and more business seeing broadband connectivity as economic vehicle where we can signal Egypt, for example, with its Hayat Karima initiative, bringing connectivity to rural areas. The benefits of a high speed broadband are well understood now, especially after the COVID 19 pandemic. Governments around the world now understand the social and financial benefits of investing in high quality broadband networks. The broadband industry supports a wider ICT industry that typically accounts for between 2 and 7% of a country's overall GDP, and it provides for a vast range of industries from manufacturing to health institutions to educational facilities, as well as upholding social aspects such as well being and social equality. Broadband as well demands from consumers and enterprises are only set to grow. The demands on broadband networks will only increase due to the continued growth in number and variety of connected devices, more bandwidth hungry application, and an ever growing reliance on the cloud. To enable future innovation and socio-economic growth, broadband operators must continue to invest in their networks. To do so, governments and regulators must ensure that the correct legalization and regulations are set to encourage and enable such investment, and they provide the necessary funding where normal market forces would not warrant it. It's critical that the digital divide is not focused solely on being connected versus unconnected. Broadband connectivity is now essential to everyday life. However, the quality of that connectivity is also vitally important. To work well, many digital applications such as video conferencing, gaming, video streaming need high speed, low latency, and highly reliable and consistent networks. Those individuals and businesses that have such access will be at a significant advantage over those that don't. So we see fiber also here is an arm in development of the digital infrastructure. And fiber is not only about high speed. Concentrating only on speed makes the business case for investing in fiber access difficult to justify, especially as copper based access technologies continue to improve their own speed capabilities. However, fiber also it brings a range of other benefits to an operator, including higher overall quality of service, lower maintenance costs, lower energy costs, and smaller physical infrastructure requirements. All such characteristics needs to be considered when developing fiber investment plans. So it's not only about the high speed. Governments as well should ensure that telecommunications infrastructure can be deployed most efficiently by requiring all new developments and real estate to be equipped with in-building mini ducts, fiber, in-building access points, or other physical infrastructure to accelerate the deployment and reduce the rollout cost. And all these things together they participate, all these factors, in the development of the digital infrastructure. When you have smart homes, smart buildings, smart cities, when you have a very good internet and you have access to the video conferences easily, to the gaming, the streaming, and it's now something, it's a trend, especially the streaming, the video streaming nowadays, especially in the GCC countries in MENA region.
No, exactly. And I mean, especially with this new way of society where we're working so much remote, high speed interconnectivity pretty much everywhere. People work from literally everywhere now is so important. And like you said, especially the speed. Otherwise, we cannot have these video conferences.
Exactly. And today podcast, yeah.
Exactly. And today we're doing the podcast. Yeah, let me just tell everyone, you're not even in the studio. You're in Dubai. I'm in Spain, and it's working so well.
Yeah, see how great is the internet and the fiber.
Exactly. So yeah, let's talk a bit about fiber technology adoption in MENA. What is the current level of adoption of fiber technology in different countries across the MENA region?
Well, this is Torah, a very important question. In MENA region, it is different from a country to country. Overall, the take-up rate in MENA is 59%, and this includes the fiber home passed and the subscribers. Iraq has well progressed, exceeding 32% mark or a 1.6 million home passed and more than 440K subscribers. UAE, as we all know, returning global leadership in FTTH ranking with more than 99% overall. Qatar is among the top 10. Saudi Arabia has as well progressed, exceeding the 66% or the 3.85 million households. So in general, as you can see in the GCC countries, the fiber adoption is really high, and it competes compared with the other MENA countries due to so many factors. I guess we will talk about those factors later, but we have like leaders and we have like the lag behind countries.
Yes, no, for sure. And just a quick question there. Do you know what the adoption level of MENA compared to, Europe is? The adoption of fiber technology, just out of curiosity. I'm in Spain.
Yeah, okay. So let me tell you something. As I said, the UAE is the global leader in FTTH ranking with more than 99%. Next, I guess it's Singapore and China and Qatar. So basically, the first, let's say, five countries, I guess, are not from Europe, but I
Yeah.
know for sure that Spain is doing very well.
Okay.
And we know this because we can see that when the MENA countries need experts in fiber, they call experts from Spain. So the adoption rate in Europe is not the same as MENA region for a single reason. The markets in Europe are well connected with the copper. Those, let's say, networks are really strong and are really well built inside the cities. So it's not easy to rebuild or to dig or to deploy fiber and take out the copper. However, in MENA region, we have smart cities being built from scratch. So it's easy to deploy fiber from the beginning. That justify why the take-up rate or the adoption of fiber in the GCC countries in MENA are higher than any other place in the world.
That's super interesting, Kholoud.
Yeah.
So what factors contribute to the adoption or lack thereof of fiber technology in different areas?
Yeah, when it comes to economic, political, and infrastructure status, countries in the MENA region are very diverse, as we said before. This is reflected in the challenges and hurdles to building FTTX networks. So, my answer would be each country has its own challenges. This range from availability of funding and lack of political stability to low return on investment and insufficient government subsidies or public incentives to build. Having said that, we may also note that they face hurdles that we also see in other places. For example, in the area of skilled labor, we have a real problem in the area of skilled labor in MENA region. However, it is worth noting that at the same time, several countries at the top of the global broadband connectivity ranking, such as UAE and Qatar in MENA region. So it is like you have some odds, in the region. These issues are highly country specific. In some areas, we anticipate a preference for high density solutions using micro trench cabling in densely populated urban areas. In areas with fewer households, we expect aerial solutions will be taken up on a larger scale, depending again on the country regulations. There is a trend towards finding partners also who have a strong sustainability score. So this is also one of the factors that contribute in the adoption of the fiber in MENA region. Some countries now are asking each operator to find a partner who have a strong sustainability score as well as a proven record in quality and innovation. Some countries now are building experience with the fiber to the room. and a mix of fixed 5G broadband networks. We can also see adoption of smart city concept in the planning of new cities. Most of the new cities that are coming up now in MENA region are smart cities, especially in Saudi Arabia, as digital transformation continue to be adopted to a great extent in the region. But as I said, the factors, it varies from country to another. Some countries, they have, as we said, economic, political, return on investment difficulties, also looking at the score of sustainability. So all together, it depends from country to a country, can be factors to contribute in the adoption of fiber.
Okay. And are there any challenges or barriers to widespread adoption of fiber technology in the region?
Well, Tora, regarding this question, I can tell you that there are global challenges and some challenges maybe is specific for MENA region. If we will talk about the global challenges, we know that the disruption in supply chain felt across the globe in 2023. So this is one of the main things that hit the fiber market. Inflation and raw material prices surged as well. Higher interest rates set by the central bank. It pushed all the operators to keep their money in the bank, getting more, let's say, interest rate on their deposits and so on. So it encouraged them not to move the cash, so not to spend more in the deployment or investing in so many things. One of them is the fiber. Coming to the MENA region, the foreign currency limitation, what I mean is that looking at Egypt, looking at Lebanon now, they cannot pay with the dollar because they have a lack of the foreign currency. So this limits the investment in the infrastructure and the digital infrastructure in the country. Civil unrest in other locations and other countries in MENA region, you can see that there are wars here and there in the region. It's not like a stable region. Also, the regulators, they should play a huge role in encouraging the fiber deployment by facilitating deployment through municipality approvals, using existing resources like government buildings, street light, ducts, etc., and sharing infrastructure and facilities. Also, introducing flexibility in partnership arrangements, such as allowing agreements between players, co-financing, collaborative models, public-private partnerships, innovation partnerships. So also the government, they should play a huge role. And this is one of the challenges because some countries, the governmental body is not doing what they should do. The fierce competition also impacting a few operators' return on investment. Also, a particular challenge sits around innovation to identify new monetization opportunities, as some legacy technologies still compete with the triple play TV through satellite versus broadband. As an example, I will tell you something about this. Like in UAE, you can see that the country itself, they banned the satellite technology, so everybody has to go to fiber, and maybe that's what. Yeah, so all the country is connected with fiber. So here, see the regulators, they push to invest in fiber. In other countries, like in Morocco, no, the case is different.
Kholoud, as a freelance talent marketplace, I have to pose the question, is there enough talent to fulfill the advancements of the fiber projects in the region currently?
Well, Tora, let me tell you something. The MENA region has been significant advancement in fiber projects, as we discussed, like in the GCC countries, especially in the recent years, driven by the growing demand for high-speed internet connectivity and digital infrastructure. However, the availability of talent to fulfill this advancement can vary from country to another, depending on different factors, like the economic, the governmental support, the level of education and training in this country, the private sector involvement. So, in this case, I can't give you an answer like on all MENA region. I will tell you something. Coming to UAE, some people can tell you we see the future here in terms of technology. Going to, let's say, Libya, it needs a lot of work. So this varies from country to country. Regarding the talent, it depends. In UAE, you can see lots of talented people are working in the operators. And when you have a talk with them, you will be impressed This is because of the training in this country, the level of education, the support they are getting from the government, bringing new technologies, the exhibitions that the government also are hosting, and sending those people and its people to learn about those new technologies. So it varies from let's say, country to a country.
Okay. And do you know at all if freelance are used to fill the talent gaps? I mean, when I read news about, especially the UAE, I do read that freelancers are, there are more freelancers there now. But since you're working in this fiber industry, do you see that at all?
Actually, yes. I will tell you something, Tora. The MENA region, basically, they depends on the freelancing, especially in the fiber. The fiber, I believe it was first established in 1992. So it's not that old technology, you know.
Yeah.
So let's say the development in the fiber technology accelerates it's very fast. The acceleration of this development is really fast. So we need in our region like people to train freelancers, to train the technicians especially. I have to say that technicians, we can see that a lot of companies are suffering with the technicians issue. So we need too much training. The freelancers are very famous in the region, so they need a lot of work. And because the MENA region is not, let's say, an innovation hub, you know, so we are getting those freelancers and expertise from Europe, from US, where they are ahead in terms of technology, in terms of deployment of the fiber, because you know the international or the big companies that are working on the development of fiber and its technologies are not in MENA.
Yeah.
So we need those freelancers. Absolutely, we need them.
Amazing. Perfect.
Yeah.
So moving to future trends and opportunities, what are some emerging trends in fiber technology that are likely to shape the future of internet connectivity in the MENA region?
Well, finding partners who have a strong sustainability score is as well as a proven record in equality and innovation is very important. So this is one of the trends now. It's globally actually that we need a sustainable building, sustainable technology, sustainable things. So everything is about sustainability. So this is one of the trends now. Also, few countries in MENA region are experiencing the fiber to the room and also a mix of fixed 5G broadband networks. And this is very interesting. You know, there's a fiber to each and every room. So if you have a YouTuber kid or a YouTuber brother, his connectivity should not affect the rest of the house, you know.
Yeah.
So this is very interesting. Also, the smart city concept has been adapted in new cities planning as digital transformation continues to be highly adopted in MENA region. And as I told you, that we have an advantage here in the smart city in MENA region that the smart cities are being built from scratch. So we have the opportunity to install the best technologies, the best digital infrastructure in those cities to have a very smart, a very good smart city. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, when you're building a new city, you can do everything perfectly from the start.
Exactly, because it's not a mature market sim like Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are there any upcoming developments or innovations in fiber technology that could further revolutionize internet access in the region?
Well, in our world, it's not just people, but also things that are being becoming connected. The bulk of these connected devices will comprise Internet of Things devices, sensors, and other household items such as appliances, health, and fitness products. And we can see, Tora, now like a lot of ads on the stuff and home appliances like a smart something or a smart product, you know. However, there will also be like a significant increase in the number of smart TVs, as well as newer devices such as VR headsets and the new innovations such as glasses, free 3D screens. All of these things, they need a very good, let's say, internet and a very good connectivity. So the number of videos also enabled connected devices is increasing. The screens on those devices are getting larger, and they offer higher and higher levels of video quality. And to gain this video quality and to have it, you need a very good connectivity. By 2027, I read this in one of the studies by Omdia, 61% of all devices shipped will have a screen, and 63% of those screens will be full of or Ultra HD.
Okay.
So we need a very good connectivity, especially with the smart TVs. The TV will remain as important screen in the home for the foreseeable future. The modern TV has evolved beyond a simple receiver for a linear broadcast video to a full home entertainment system. In some cases, the TV is even a control hub for the smart home. So you can control the full home by your TV. So I guess a lot of innovations, a lot of trends will be there, and all these things, all these smart products, and the Internet of Things, they need a good connectivity, which means a good fiber technology.
No, so fiber is vital for a good future.
Absolutely. I Tora, something I read on Fiber Broadband Association, which is our sister council in the FCGA. They were saying, where fiber goes, the future follows. So we believe that fiber is very important, and we keep saying this, like, where fiber goes, the future will follow. It's very important.
Fiber guides the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Well, Kholoud, you're so knowledgeable in this topic. Can I just ask, what made you so interested in fiber? How did you kind of get into this industry, actually?
Oh my God, this is a very interesting thing. And basically, I was looking, for a marketing position. And because I worked in so many events in the Royal Court in Jordan, I was looking for like a society that do the events and so on. So my idea was just to join on a marketing position. And then digging more and more, I found it very interesting thing. So I did the leap of faith to shift the sector from the financial to the technology.
Wow.
And it's really interesting. And when you work on something up to date, and you are seeing like the things in your eyes, how it developed, and you can, let's say, feel the experience that this something coming from this to this in technology, it's amazing. So I'm really lucky that I joined Fiber Connect Council MENA and worked with the great members and the great brains and international companies. So it is a great pleasure for me.
Amazing. Yeah, I can hear the passion when you speak about it. So it's just wonderful to hear.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Tora.
Well, Kholoud, it's been fantastic chatting with you today. Your insights have been invaluable, and thank you for sharing everything with us. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Thank you so much, Tora. I guarantee you I enjoyed it to the max. It is a pleasure to be part of your amazing podcast. I have listened to some of the podcasts. I promise you I will continue also to listen to the rest. A lot of topics were being, let's say, discussed in your podcast. And I'm happy that you give a space to the technology and the fiber in your platform. So thank you so much, Tora. Thank you for Outwise as well for these opportunities, and looking forward for more and more collaborations between the Council and Outwise.
Thanks, Kholoud. Us too. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Outwise Insights. Remember, for top freelance talent or projects, visit outwise.com. See you next time.